Welcome back to Morning Drive as we reflect on two of the most iconic and unique winning moments in the long history of the game. When Justin Rose and Inbee Park both took home gold medals at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. It had been a long wait for golf's return to the Olympics, but these two iconic moments capped off two tournaments for the ages. And today is a special day as we're now just 1 year out from the Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. The Olympics were, of course, supposed to take place in 2020, but have been postponed until July of 2021. The men's and women's golf competitions will take place at Kasumi Gaseki Country Club, a competition that we are all eagerly awaiting. So for more on the Olympics, we now welcome in NBC host of the Olympics, Mike Tirico. Mike, it is wonderful to see you. Just to dive straight into it, obviously, the postponement was incredibly unfortunate, and everything that the world is going through right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. But the Olympics is, if not the greatest sporting event on the planet, next year it will provide the world to really come together, celebrate and unite. Just describe the global impact that you think the Games could have come July next year.
Yeah, great to be with you, Anna. From your mouth to the opening ceremonies in 365 days, right? It would be wonderful to see that play out in that manner. You think about what the world has been through with this pandemic, and there is such a difficult vision of seeing everybody together from around the world in one place. And if 1 year from now that can happen at the Olympic Games, it might be one of the great moments in the history of sport. You think about the opening ceremony for the Olympics, which would have been tomorrow if the Olympics stayed on time. That's a gathering of athletes from over 200 countries, officials, coaches. It's a gathering that brings together more nations than the United Nations General Assembly when it meets in New York annually. So that gives you an idea of the power of the Olympic Games. If we're able to get to 1 year from now and have come through COVID-19 and everything else that's touched every corner of the world and come together for a celebration, whether it's as big as it was going to be this year or if it's somewhat muted, I think it would still be one of the more powerful things any of us have experienced through sport.
It would be a celebration like none other, and probably impossible to describe the impact, as you say, that it would have across the world, not just in sport. But speaking of historic moments, 2016 saw the return of golf to the Games for the
Yeah.
first time in 112 years. Now, at the time, a fair few of the top names in the game were a little bit cynical about how much it would really mean to them to compete as an Olympian. As times have moved on and the success of Rio, can you feel the attitudes and the momentum's changing as we look forward to Tokyo?
I think everyone saw how important it can be. And obviously, in 2016, we were dealing with the concerns, which thankfully were unfounded, of regarding the Zika virus. And players had concerns about traveling there. But when you saw Justin Rose win, and you saw Justin have that gold medal in his golf bag often and pull it out for people to see, and the pride and the joy in his face when he was looking at the medal when it went around his neck. Same with Inbee Park as well. I think the golf world saw two terrific players win that gold medal and have a different line on their resume that others don't have available to them. And now that's part of completing something really unique. Could somebody become the first player to win the career Grand Slam and an Olympic gold medal? I mean, you only get one shot at this every 4 years. Olympic gold medal, you say those three words, and all of a sudden your attention changes. So I think that the golf world understands that. And especially now with the event, as you mentioned, happening at a historic golf club in a country that loves the sport. I think there'll be great interest from sponsors, golfers, and the fans of Japan for hosting the event. And the players are used to going to Japan, going to Asia to compete in events. So I think all of that, plus the structure of the calendar, all those things, I think you'll see more robust participation by the best players in the world, assuming that we're in a position where safety, because of the virus and everything else, has been answered by this time next year.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Now, last week we also saw the return of 82-time PGA Tour winner Tiger Woods make his return to the PGA Tour for the first time since lockdown. Now, he made the cut. He played all 4 rounds. He's obviously on the chase for a record number 83 wins on tour. Has it fueled you with more confidence? What have you taken from what you saw last week from Tiger?
Well, there was that early birdie in the early round coverage on NBC Sports Gold and PGA Tour Live. All right, here it is. This is the week, right? You're going to be watching. And you can just see that Tiger hasn't competed nearly enough in conditions like that. It was so difficult, obviously, at Memorial. You do feel like it will happen at some point. I think some of that, candidly, is hopeful for a lot of folks who've watched Tiger, watch what he's bounced back from, what he's overcome, and know what he has meant to the game and to all of us who have been lucky enough to be a part of the game since Tiger turned pro about 24, 25 years ago. He doesn't like to hear it that loud, but that's how long he's been around, right? I think he'll do it at some point. It's just a matter of how is his body going to hold up here as we go forward. And let's be candid about it. You want to see him at the majors. He wants to peak for those. We're not going to see him play 20 events, but you hope that for the majors and for the PGA Tour playoff run, he's in a position to do that. And I hold out this stupid hope, not against anybody else, but that we find at July 2021, a year from now, when we're getting ready for the Olympic opening ceremony in Tokyo, that we find Tiger Woods and Serena Williams and Roger Federer, three of the all-time greats who we have been lucky enough to watch through the start to the apex of their amazing careers. It would be awesome to see all of them in Tokyo at the Olympic Games for one last shot at winning gold medals for all of them. I think it would be some special part of what could be a very special year. We don't have much hope in a lot of things right now, but it's given us time to think, which gives us time to dream. So let's hope we see one or all of them there in Tokyo competing in the Olympics next year.
I was just about to say, seeing Tiger Woods become an Olympian is something that we would all love to see. Now, he's currently ranked 14th in the world. Team USA will be looking to take up to four
Right.
players to represent the US in the game of golf. Do you think the postponement has, in a way, sort of given Tiger a much better chance of making the team?
Well, it gives everyone, including Tiger, a chance to rest up and now be ready for this run. And we haven't seen Tiger as much in this run as we saw the other golfers just returning at Memorial. So if he does pick his spots, he will have to pick his spots at events that will carry a lot of World Golf Ranking points. Again, it's not the exact official World Golf Rankings. There is a little Olympic change to it slightly, but suffice it to say, the events Tiger is going to play in, if he plays well enough in those, it will give him a great opportunity to make it. And you made the key point. This is one of the toughest teams to make because American golf is so good right now. To be among the top four, you could be 13th, 14th, 15th, and have a few people to try to jump. So it's an ask. It's not an easy ask, but it'll be fun to watch it play out over all these big events that are ahead with all the playoff events on the PGA Tour, the World Golf Championships, and those majors we talked about.
And speaking of those majors, just finally, we're now 2 weeks out from the PGA Championship, the one and only major actually of this season. As you look ahead,
Right.
2 weeks to go, what storylines are you focusing on that intrigue you the most going into TPC Harding Park?
Well, last week in Muirfield Village felt a little bit like major championship golf, hang on and survive, right? So there was a little bit of
Hmm.
that reminder of what we're going to have. Uh, Boy, I really missed our opportunity to be in your native land in the United Kingdom last week at the Open because the Open has been a part of my life for 24 years in a row, and I missed it so much being overseas at golf's oldest major championship. But the PGA will really set a tone for what's ahead in the fall with the U.S. Open in September and the Masters in November. It's Harding Park where we've seen some good golf played in a couple of different events over the years. And everybody's played now enough to have a little bit of sharpness to them. So I just get the sense that leaderboard is going to look really good from Thursday morning all the way through. And any one of 8 or 9 guys I could throw out there right now and say, yeah, I can see that person winning the PGA. So fun year coming up. And this is going to start it all here in just a couple of weeks. It's hard to believe that we haven't had a major yet, but I can't wait for it.
Very well said, Mike Tirico. As always, some huge events coming up in the game of golf, and it's great to hear your opinion on all of it. So, Mike, as always, thanks so much for joining us.